Hello, students, and welcome to today's lesson. We'll start with our do now, and we ask you to thoughtfully answer the question today, which is about being something we call an upstander, and that's in the context of when you see someone that's being bullied. Our objective today is to continue again, still with our order of operations, one more day of this, and our essential question, as has been, what is the correct order of operations? Why is order of operations important, and how can I remember the correct order of operations? So we'll watch today's video and complete the self-checking worksheet and pay attention to those grouping symbols. Our examples today will be a little bit more difficult, and that will have a lot to do with grouping symbols. Our exit ticket, we've been doing kind of a similar exit ticket every day, but what does that tell you? I want you to remember the order of operations. It's a really crucial skill for you to go into ninth grade algebra with. So let's make sure you've got that down pat, okay? And remember, you need to show me your work at the end of the period. Even if it's not done, I still want to see it. That really helps me teach you. And if you have a problem showing it, you can send me a picture, but it's got to be at the end of the period. So make sure you do that. And the only homework you would have is if you have not finished the lesson, complete it for homework. So important notes, we're going to have our camera on during our discussion and at the end of the period, our initial discussion. We're going to respond when your name is called at the beginning, middle, or end of the period. Show your work on camera at the end of the period or send a photo. If you have questions, you know where to send them. Just to remind you, this Wednesday, January 27th, is a full day of distance learning classes. You'll dial into all 7 periods. So we'll start with our do now. We have something called a bystander, which is someone who is aware that bullying is happening. But then we have this newer term, and you'll be talking about it in advisory, called an upstander. An upstander is someone who stands up for someone else who's being bullied. What can an upstander do to support a bullying victim? I want you to think about, different ways you could help. Could you say something? Could you tell an adult? What could you do? How can you be supportive to a bullying victim? And let's put your answer on the line right here. And we'll get back to our exit ticket. But we're going to work on order of operations today. And as usual, we'll start with question 1. And we get the answer to question 1. We'll put that on this blank space in question 2 and keep answering all the way until we get to the bottom. And if we've done our math correctly, our final answer should be 196, which we always check. So these are a little more tricky. There's a lot of work to them. And remember, you're showing your work. You're not just putting the answers. Always show your work. And we don't put our answers here. We use our paper notes. So just like I'm asking you to use notes, I'm going to use some note paper. And we'll start with number 1. Let's get a nice bright color to start the week off. 5 to the second power plus 2 times the quantity of 29 minus times the quality, or minus the quantity of 18 plus 3 equals what? So we're going to start here. Remember, GEMS. Grouping symbols, very important in this problem. We'll start with 18 plus 3. Let's get that highlighter going. This is where we start. So 5 squared plus 2 times the quantity of 29 minus 18 plus 3 is 21. Okay, now still with the grouping symbols. Okay, we haven't finished those yet. So we've got 29 minus 21. So 5 squared plus 2 times the quantity of 29 minus 21 is 8 equals. Now, we've done all of our grouping symbols. We'll work with exponents. So we'll do this 5 squared, which is 5 times 5. So this is what we're going to work on next. 5 times 5, which is 25. plus 2 times 8. And now we'll work on the multiplication. We've finished the exponent. We're going to work on the multiplication. So we have 25 plus 2 times 8 is 16. And then we'll add 25. So we finished multiplication. Our subtraction, 25 plus 16 equals 41. So that's our answer. And that will go right here on this line. So let's move on to the second problem. So these take a bit of work, and you need to show all that work. 3 times the quantity of, and within that we have the quantity of 41 minus 30, parentheses, and all of that quantity is squared, divided by 11, and then close the bracket, equals something. So we are going to start with the innermost grouping symbol, the 41 minus 30. So GEMS, grouping symbols, exponents and radicals, multiplication and division before subtraction and addition. These you work from left to right. So 41 minus 30 is 11. So we have 3 times 11 squared divided by 11, close the bracket, equals. So we need to work with this. We're working within the grouping symbol, but we have an exponent within the grouping symbol, so we need to take care of that first. 3 times 11 times 11 is 121, divided by 11 equals blank. Okay, so we took care of the exponent. Now we don't have multiplication, but we do have division. So we're going to divide 121 by 11. So 3 times 121 divided by 11 is 11, equals blank. And then finally, 3 times 11 equals 33. And that's our final answer. It's a little tricky. And we will also put that 33 on the next line. So let's move on to number 3. Now, I hope that you're ready to try them on your own before you watch me do them. So go ahead and try it on your own, pause the video, and then come back and check your work. So I have 99 divided by 33 times 2 to the third minus 5 plus 12. So I think we will start with, we don't have grouping symbols, but we have an exponent. So we'll start there. So 99 divided by 33 times 2 to the third is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8, minus 5 plus 12. Okay, now we're going to work on multiplication and division, going from left to right. So first I have this 99 divided by 33. And 99 divided by 33 is 3 times 8 minus 5 plus 12. And then I have 3 times 8, which is 24, minus 5 plus 12. 24, our multiplication and division are done. We work on subtraction and addition, working from left to right. 24 minus 5 is 19 plus 12. 19 plus 12 equals 31, which is our final answer. Boy, look at number 4. We can handle this. A lot going on there. Let's see. I'd love you to try it on your own and see how well you do. Number 4, 31 times the quantity of 24 divided by the quantity of 3 times 15 minus 33. Close the parentheses, close the bracket. So working with gems. So we'll start on the inside first. We've got multiplication and subtraction. So we're going to start with the multiplication first on the inside. So 31 times bracket 24 divided by 3 times 15 is 45 minus 33 equals. Now, we're still in grouping symbols here. So we're going to work with 45 minus 33. So 31 times 24 divided by 45 minus 33 is 12. Equals. Now, we have still grouping symbols, but we've got division within here. So we're going to do this 24 divided by 12. 31 times 24 divided by 12 is 2. And then finally, 31 times 2. We don't have any addition or subtraction, except it was within a grouping symbol, so it was done first. So 31 times 2 equals 62, and that's the final answer. Remember, even if the addition and subtraction if they are inside a grouping symbol, they will be done before any multiplication or division that is outside a grouping symbol. So the grouping symbol always comes first before everything. That trumps everything. All right, so number 5 will be 62 plus 4 times the quantity of 8 minus 5 squared. That square applies to everything in parentheses, minus 140 divided by 5. So 62 plus 4 times the quantity of 8 minus 5, and all of that is squared, minus 140 divided by 5 equals. So we start in this grouping symbol first, right here, 8 minus 5. So let's put our reminders up here. So 8 minus 5 is 3. So 62 plus 4 times 3, which is going to be squared, minus 140 divided by 5. So next thing we'll do is we have an exponent, and that is 3 to the second. 3 to the second means 3 times 3, which equals 9. So 62 plus, there we go, plus 4 times 9, minus 140 divided by 5 equals. So let's see what we have. We have addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division. So we can go ahead and do our multiplication and our division, because we have to do all of the multiplication and division before we do the division, the subtraction and addition. So 62 plus 9 times 4 is 36. Okay. Now, now we do the 140 divided by 5, which is 28. Okay, so 4 times 9 is there. 140 divided by 5 is there. Now we can just work from left to right because it's addition and subtraction. So 62 plus 36 equals 98 minus 28, and 98 minus 28 equals 70. And that's our final answer. Okay, we're halfway through. I hope you're trying them on your own before you just listen to me. So let's go back to our scrap paper or our notebook paper. I'll start a new page, maybe a new color. How about this color? And this is number 6, which is 70 divided by the quantity of 4 squared minus 6 divided by 3 plus 4 equals. So we need to start within parentheses first, the grouping symbols. So we have an exponent inside the parentheses, so we'll start there. 70 divided by the quantity of 4 squared is 4 times 4, which is 16. And now we're going to work within both of those grouping symbols. We have a 16 minus 6 and a 3 plus 4. So 70 divided by 16 minus 6 is 10, divided by 3 plus 4 is 7. So now we've done the grouping symbols and the exponent. Now, we actually kind of started with an exponent because we had an exponent within the grouping symbol. Now we only have division left, so we will just work from left to right. So first we have 70 divided by 10, which is 7 divided by 7, and 7 divided by 7 equals 1. Which we'll put on number 7. All right, let's write number 7. So, number 7. 9 times 1 to the 5th power. Don't miss that little 5th power. Plus 19 minus 7 equals. So, grouping symbols, exponents and radicals, multiplication and division, subtraction and addition. I don't see grouping symbols, but I do see an exponent of 5. And what is 1 to the 5th? 1 to the 5th is 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which equals 1. So we have 9 times 1 divided by 19 minus 7. Oh, I'm sorry, I printed that wrong. This is addition plus 19. Okay, that makes much more sense. Okay. I'm sorry, I miswrote that. So, clean that up in here. This is a plus sign. All right, so we've got multiplication, addition, and subtraction. We'll start with the multiplication. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 19 minus 7. 9 plus 19, because now with multiplication and division out of the way, we just have our subtraction and addition. We just work from left to right. So 9 plus 19 is 28 minus 7, and 28 minus 7 equals 21, and that's our final answer. Okay, we've got lots of grouping symbols going on in number 8, so we'll just take our time. I hope you're trying it on your own first before you watch me do it. So that would be 21 divided by the quantity of bracket 15 minus parenthesis, another quantity, 6 plus 2, and we're closing the bracket, plus another quantity, 25 minus 13, all of that squared. So I think we're at a pretty big number this time. So let's review grouping symbol, exponent, multiplication, and division before addition and before subtraction and addition. I think we will start in here, and then we'll get to this one next. So let's go. 21 divided by 15 minus 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 25 minus 13 is 12, and all of that is squared. So I think the next thing we should do is this 15 minus 8. We still have a grouping symbol there. So 21 divided by 15 minus 8 is 7, plus 12 squared. Now we can work with this exponent. 21 divided by, I can remove those brackets now, 7 plus 12 squared is 12 times 12, which is 144. Now, multiplication and division. Well, I have division here. 21 divided by 7 is 3, plus 144. And then all I have left is addition. 3 plus 144 equals 147. And that's a final answer. Okay, let's get ready for number 9. And I hope you try it on your own. It's okay to make some mistakes. Then you can watch the video and see where you made your mistake. So 155 minus 147 plus 3 to the third power divided by the quantity of 7 plus 2 equals, put our grouping symbol, exponent, multiplication, and division before addition and subtraction. And we'll start with our grouping symbols, which is going to be the 7 plus 2. So just write the rest. 155 minus 147 plus 3 to the third divided by 7 plus 2 is 9. Now let's work on this exponent, 3 to the third power. 155 minus 147 plus 3 to the third is 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 times 3 is 27, divided by 9. Now we have to do all of the multiplication and division, which would be, we have division right here, so we'll work on that next. 155 minus 147 plus 27 divided by 9 is 3. Now, all we have is addition and subtraction, so we're going to simply work from left to right. 155 minus 147, so we're just going to do 155 minus 147, which will give us 8. Let me write that a little better. And then we have our plus 3, and all of that equals 11, which is our final answer. Now, we have to prove this 196, so let's get there now. Number 10 7 times the quantity of 11 minus 3 divided by 2 times 7 equals. So we work with the grouping symbol first. So we'll work with 11 minus 3. 7 times 11 take away 3 is 8 divided by 2 times 7. So all we have, we don't have an exponent, the grouping symbol is done. All we have is multiplication and division. So we will simply work from left to right. 7 times 8 is 56 divided by 2 times 7. So 56 divided by 2 equals 28 times 7, and 28 times 7 equals 196. And it appears that our answer checks. Good job. Let's go back to our exit ticket. So to remember the order of operations, I can use GEMS grouping symbols first. And that would include parentheses, brackets, braces, absolute value bars, and the fraction bar. Vinculum. Exponents and radicals. Okay, so if I have 2 to the third power, there's our exponent, and there's our radical. Then multiplication and division. Over subtraction and addition. Very good, good job. Make sure you show me your work. And even if it's not finished by the end of the period, I still love to see what you've done. I love to see you working hard, and I'm proud of you. Remember, you always want to keep practicing, because as you do, you'll be great.